and the people around you.
So, Dov, with all that we're seeing in the news and all that we're experiencing in our lives, you know, people losing their jobs, people losing their houses, I'm curious about what does that spell out for us, or what does that speak to us as far as our experience?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's a good question, because it speaks to the larger reality that we might deal with as, say, as spiritual teachers or spiritual people, which is the human condition. You know, the Buddha dealt with this. You see, when he originally left his palace to see what was in the world, well, what did he see that was about the suffering? He saw poor people. you see, so it was like the human condition. So in a larger context, I would say, well, here we are again. It's simply that aspect that is re-emerging again, so that we are seeing it a little bit clearer now than maybe before, when we were distracted with things. You see, so one would have to ask, what does this mean on a spiritual level? What's this for? What is this experience of the economy and world conditions and such? Well, you know, what is it for? It is to alert us to values that are transcendent, you see. And as we understand and are kind of directed to the nature within us that is, you know, that is transcendent, you know, understanding where the true abundance comes from, then we shift our experience both individually and on a collective level. You see, it is about understanding where our real value is, what is truly valuable. So our encounter with the human condition in this way is to alert us to the real nature of our souls. That's what it's about. We have to learn to relate to each other differently, collectively, as a society. What will shift the circumstances on a practical level is actually cooperation. It is cultivating the sense of an us and a we, you see, and that the suffering of one person or the suffering of one segment has a resonant effect on the we, on all of us, you see. And it's like, to the degree that we've lost sight of that, well, we are simply reminded by the universe, you see, and that the way out of that is that reestablishing of a greater truth of the connection, you see. And so that's what I would say this is about.
Dov, are spirituality and materiality opposed?
Excellent question. Actually, they are not. It's an interesting question, because it's steeped in the idea of duality. You say one or the other, either or, this or that, black or white. You know, it's like this whole duality world that we are kind of swimming in. Okay, what's happening, of course, is that there is more of an emergence of an awareness of unity and oneness coming in, and so the old thinking of spiritual versus material, or spiritual versus concrete or the flesh or whatever is part of that duality. So I heard it explained years ago in a very, very humorous way, which was that there's no difference between, there's no separation between being in the body and the spirit, body and spirit. The body is simply thick spirit. You see. So it is about realizing and understanding and appreciating the alignment and the unity. You see the unity thereof. And so I believe that this is actually true. It's like the body is simply thick spirit.
So what does transcendence of duality look like practically in our lives?
Transcendence of duality looks like a sense of confidence and acceptance, you see. Think about it. Conflict comes out of duality, you see, because duality insists that there must be an other in which you oppose, and then you have this experience. Transcending the duality, what that looks like is an openness and an acceptance and a sympathy and an empathic kind of experience, an empathic kind of awareness. So stepping out of the duality will give you an experience of life that is more harmonious, which flows better, which is steeped in the nature of the soul itself, which is joy. You see, you don't see anything other than that. So that in a state that is beyond the duality, in the union, the sense of union, you always see yourself, even in what we would ordinarily think of as the other, you still see yourself, constantly meeting yourself. Not only in other people, but in the nature of the world, the nature of the universe, the nature of plants, animals, the weather, the elements. These are all aspects of you. And it's a state that not everyone is conscious of living there, but it's something that is available. This is what all the traditions refer to in various ways, that stepping into that particular state of unity.
Dov, will you speak to me a little bit more about the nature of the soul?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the nature of the soul, as I said before, we're like sparks, or we're like this aspect of the Supreme. God is Mother, Father, God, but even beyond that duality, we are a spark of that source. We're the spark of source. So that's kind of the essence, the essence of the soul. It manifests in various ways through our experience. As we go through the life, as we go through the journey. And so it's interesting when I examine people's journeys, because I deal with a lot of people on a soul level, helping them kind of understand and sort things out. It's interesting looking at their periods of time in their life in which they are basically asleep or unaware of the reality of their soul.